Last week, we saw another two-time winner in the series as Timmy Lewis was able to drive away from Ben Wart, which is needing a win to make the playoffs. Nick Galusha finished third, helping him get closer in the points. Tonight is the final night before the playoffs start, and we have 8 drivers of the 12 spots locked down. Patrick Day, Timmy Lewis, Johnny Evans, Paul Fly, Sean Smith, and Ryan Palmer locked themselves in after winning, and Hunter Lagoons and Brent Butler on points. Who will make the final 4 spots in the final race of the regular season? The playoff chances for some drivers come down to tonight at the Lady in Black Darlington Raceway. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tarmac Esports Truck Series Countdown to Green Show presented by John Betlam and Game Day Rally here. As always, I have beside me two-time winner in the series, Patrick Day, and owner and operator of Miller Time Motorsports, Chris Miller. How are we doing today on the final round before the playoffs?
I'm excited, Ryan. Glad to be here. I think, we haven't run Darlington very much, so it's going to be fun to see the race tonight. Hopefully we can stay within ourselves and not spin coming off of turn 2 like it's so easy to do at this track. So we'll see. It's going to be exciting. Once again, congratulations to Timmy getting his second win of the season. It's a great race, great call on the tires late. Him and Nick both made the right call, just like I did at Michigan. So good on them.
Yeah, good evening, guys. Can you believe it that we're here at the final race of the regular season already? Time just flies. It's crazy. We're already up to Christmas break, so we'll have 3 weeks off here before we come back, and we'll have our playoffs. So it's our first ever playoffs on Tarmac Esports and Miller Time Motorsports. We're looking, we got three races in the first round, 2 in the second, and then we got the finale at Phoenix. So we got a lot of things to look forward to, and yes, congrats to Timmy on being the second repeat winner. A lot of guys were, I know I was down in another garage last week because of Steve being gone, so I didn't have anybody in the Miller Time garage, so I went down there and they were all talking, and they were hoping for a repeat winner because those guys are so close on points. So some of them got themselves set up pretty good going into this week. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but I know back when we were scheduling this, we were looking at Darlington as the season finale, the regular season. So, and Patrick mentioned it, we haven't came here very often. Not a whole lot of history for us, but it's going to be exciting.
Yes, and like you say, a lot of drivers are hoping for another repeat winner if they're trying to get in on points, because if you get a guy that's outside the top 10 right now that ends up getting a win, then that could bump you out, like, say, Nick Galusha that's down there on the bubble. There's a couple of these guys that's right there on the bottom. We'll talk a lot more about that. But, yes, round 10. Around 10 already. Like you said, time flies, and it seemed like it took us forever even to get to Season 2. We had that long period over the summer, late into the fall, and then we finally get racing, and we've went 10 rounds of racing already, and it's been fun. It's been exciting. Been one where we've seen a lot of different winners. Some really close racing. We've seen some drama hit the track like we did in Season 1. This one not being with Kyle Wellman at all, actually being with PJ Popham and the Rat Bastards. It just seems like that's been the case in these seasons. So it's just going to happen. These rivals are going to form no matter what. Whether it's Kyle Wellman or it's going to be somebody else, there's going to be a rival. And I would not say that a rival could potentially form once we hit the playoffs. The round of 12, boy, the gloves are going to come off and things may get a little nasty in the new year whenever we kick over into the playoffs. But looking at Timmy Lewis, yes, his second win on the season, he gets it done and really drives away from Ben Wart by almost 2 seconds from Ben Wart. Ben Wart really, really needed a win. He has not had the season that he really wanted coming into this, and he needs a win. Definitely needs a win tonight if he's going to make the playoffs. That's pretty much it. He knows it. Everybody knows it in his corner. He's looking for that win tonight. Nick Galusha came home third. Hey, he gets himself on the podium. It's the first time that we've seen that this season, that he's been on the podium, and wow, it took a long time for that to happen. And he was last year's winner of the series, season 1. That was your champion, Nick Galusha, and he finally finds the podium in round 9. Can he make the playoffs? He's going to try his best. I know he will, but he needs a win, or he's going to have a really good night on points, and hope that nobody wins that is a new winner. Kyle Wellman finished 4th, had an up and down day. We've kind of talked a little bit about that throughout much of this season. Kyle Wellman has been on this roller coaster ride and cannot find his footing to stay up there and be dominant up front where he was last year. He was up there. He was running up front a lot. Derek Roffling comes home 5th. Good points day for him, but is he going to need more than just points to be able to get in? We'll talk a little bit more about that as well. Grant Clark, great finish there. He's in 6th. I know there was talks around here coming at Darlington. This is a track that maybe he has circled that he could potentially win, as he may be one of the great favorites here, and that's Grant Clark. Trevor Catalano came home in the 7th position. 8th, Byron Gay, doing what he needs to do, consistently finding himself inside the top 10. Paul Negus comes home 9th, and Patrick Day rounds out the top 10 through round 9. So here we are. Final regular season race. Darlington. The track too tough to tame. Is it going to be too tough to tame, Patrick?
I think it is. Sadly, I think it is. You really got to take care of your truck in the turns here. You can't be flat-footing it all the way through. You're not going to make it through the turns. So we're going to see who has the eggs underneath their right foots this race, that's for sure. Or I don't want to say it, but going to have another Bristol.
Oof.
I hope not. I hope we can get through the first couple laps, get the tires warm, settle down, and let the race play out. But it's a tough track, and it's tough to run fast here, that's for sure, and save the tires, which is going to be really, really important at this race.
Yeah. What do you think, Chris?
Well, I know it's going to be too tough to tame for me. I have very, very limited experience here, and I never look forward to it. But I do look forward to it from a league standpoint, and from a broadcast standpoint, and from a playoff standpoint. So I think, well, I hope it's not another Bristol. I hope it's not caution. I want to have some racing. I want to make it exciting for the guys, and there's a lot of guys, as we talk about points here in a little bit, that are on the outside looking in, and it could make or break somebody's evening.
Okay, so I got a question about Darlington, because I've never raced Darlington. I've got it, but I've never raced it at all. In real life, they call it the Darlington stripe, right? So the car gets up there too high, gets up against the wall, and it leaves that stripe around the wall. In iRacing, what happens when you get up and get into the wall? Does it pretty much just suck you up in there, and then you're kind of just stuck up in there, and you lose momentum? What happens?
Yeah, that's kind of how iRacing has coded it, right? They don't want people riding the wall like in Martinsville, Chastain at Martinsville, right? So they made it kind of sticky. So yeah, if you get up there and touch the wall, if you don't glance it right, yeah, it'll kind of suck you there, and you'll sit there and slow down and eventually come off. And you have to turn your tires pretty good to come off. If you don't anticipate when you just detach, if you have your tires still turned to the left, you could spin out in front of somebody. So it's a very fine line to ride when you do that. And the reason Darlington is that way, because both lines can be high lines. 3 and 4 you can do a lower line and make it work, but 1 and 2 is you're on the wall pretty much. So That's why there's so many Darlington stripes that happens there.
Yeah, so that's going to be the tricky kind of navigating for some of these drivers that, if there's a guy and you're running tight with him and you notice maybe he gets in there too hard and you're like, there's no way he's not going to touch that outside wall. Maybe you're off the throttle, maybe just a little bit, just anticipate that he is going to hit that wall. And then, that truck's going to slow down. So you have some kind of reaction time there. I think that is one thing that I've kind of looked at this race and saying, what's going to be the issues, the trouble issues. And I think that's it, is guys are going to run close to each other. And then that mistake where we touch the wall and then the truck grabs the wall and then they slow down and then there's no reaction time and then things stack up and that's what causes the wrecks. That's kind of where I see it. Is that kind of what you're looking at?
Honestly, I think you're going to have the most problems off of 2 with this track. Because to hit the run right from mid to off, it's kind of a narrow keyhole that you have to go through to make a really good lap. So if you're a little wide coming through the turn, and you try to, and you have to crank it down a little bit more, that truck gets very light in the rear. And the problem with this track too, and warn the guys right now, I can see this happening. It's a lot of runoff from the track surface all the way down to the inside wall. So if you spin down there, it's possible iRacing is not going to throw the caution for that. So, but I think more than the wall scrapes, I think that's going to be the problem more is off of 2.
Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting. And I'm okay with iRacing not calling those cautions. Like, hey, you want to do that and you want to spin yourself out? That's fine. iRacing not calling it would be fantastic. It may make some drivers be a little more cautious because if that happens, then you're way behind the 8 ball. So, Patrick, you said that you're afraid that it could potentially turn into a Bristol, and we don't want to rehash out what Bristol was like. We already all know what Bristol was like. But do you anticipate at all that we will see potentially a green flag pit stop?
It's going to be tough because you can go 60 laps on a fuel run here. So, I'd like to think that we can. I really would. It's just, my practices and seeing what's happening with the truck and, knowing how we've reacted in the past as far as the league goes with these type of tracks and this type of handling. I can be hopeful. I really don't see it, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take a look at these the points and what it looks like coming in to round 10. There it is. Patrick Day right there. Number 1 spot, 266, leads everything. He's got 2 wins on the year. Timmy Lewis there in the 2nd position, another 2-time winner at 262. Then we have a guy that's racing in on points right now, Hunter Lagoons at 262. He has locked himself in. Has not got a win. Unbelievable that this cat has not got a win. Here he is, Hunter Lagoons with 262 points. He ties Timmy Lewis that has 2 wins on the series. Wow. When is Hunter Lagoons going to find victory lane? And it may happen the most important time of the year, being in the playoffs. Johnny Evans, he has a win on the season. He has 239 points. Brent Butler, he has made his way in on points. He sits there at 228. He's a lock. Where we have not got lock is Kyle Wellman. Now, it's not going to take much, but Kyle Wellman right now is not a lock. He has 220, doesn't need much, but he is right there in the cusp of making the playoffs. Paul Fly, right here. He's a winner. No stranger to victory lane, him. The 94 of Paul Fly, he has 214 points, and he is tied with Byron Gay, another driver not locked in, and he's going to have to do something tonight to potentially get himself locked in. We'll talk a little bit more about that with you, Chris, here in just a few minutes. Let's keep rolling down through here. PJ Popham there at 207. So he's not locked in either. He's trying to go in on points or potentially even get a win. Nick Lucia right there on the bubble at 202. From here on out, right now, if the season was to end right now and we did not have Darlington, these drivers would be out. Austin Palmer, 191. Kyle Smith at 190. Derek Roffling at 187. Paul Negus at 185. Grant Clark at 180. Your final row over there, you got two guys over there that has won. They have locked themselves in, so it does not matter what they do tonight. They have locked themselves in. They are part of the playoffs. That's Sean Smith and Ryan Palmer. You got Frank Klein there in 16th, 18th, Ben Ward, and Michael Timmerman there in 19th. These guys are needing a big-time win tonight. So, Chris, I talk about Byron Gay, I talk about Kyle Wellman, PJ Popham, even Nick Lucia. What are some of these guys needing to happen tonight to potentially get themselves into the championship? Or, I'm sorry, the playoffs.
All right, well, I'll try to summarize it as easy as possible. And this is a very rough summary because there's a lot of things that can happen. I have tried to factor in leading laps and possibly leading the most laps, but you do have Austin Palmer, as you mentioned, on the outside looking in, and Kyle Smith just 1 point behind him, and Derek 5 points behind, or 4 points behind Austin. Looking at it, Kyle Wellman, you mentioned, he's looking like he has to finish 23rd or better. So if he gets started in a race, we've been averaging about 25 cars the last couple of races, or 25 trucks. So if he can manage 23rd or better, he's probably going to clinch his way into the playoffs, regardless of who wins or if he wins or what's not. So then Byron Gay sitting there with 214, like you mentioned. He needs to finish about 16th or better. And he would clinch his way into the playoffs. You got PJ Popham, needs a 9th place finish or better. And then Nick Galusha, like you mentioned, he will need a 4th place finish or better and have a repeat winner to clinch his way into the playoffs. So these guys on the outside, though, Austin Palmer, I mean, they can almost make up 30 points. That's if they won, and the guy that they're looking at as far as if Austin Palmer was looking at Nick Galusha, he can make up plenty there. Nick's got an 11-point lead on him. So basically Austin Palmer has to finish 11 spots ahead of Nick, and he can catch him. Now, obviously, if Austin Palmer leads a lap, that changes that a little bit, and if he leads the most laps, that changes it even more. So there's ways to factor it in, but the ones sitting in the best positions, obviously, you already mentioned the two guys that got in on points, but Kyle Wellman sitting there with 220, he just needs a 23rd or better, so he's all but a lock. But Byron, PJ, and Nick better have a good finish.
It's a race. It's a race. I can't wait to watch those guys. We're going to have to circle those guys as they go around the track. Where are they at? And because this is a matter of, are you in or are you not? And so we'll find out here momentarily, because green flag will be waving here at Darlington any moment. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
When it comes to heating and cooling, at John Betlam, we promise to take the utmost care. We'll make sure your repair's done right and any new installation is perfect. It's how we've done business since 1941. Our customers, you, are our priority. And when you need us, we're ready to help. It's our promise. So that's why there's something important that you should know. Did you know there are 2 heating and cooling companies here in Rochester that share a similar name? Betlam. And that's confusing. So make sure when you search for us online, you look for John Betlam. It's easy to confuse, so whenever you need us, be sure to search for and call John Betlam. Because it's my grandfather, John Betlam, who taught us to work hard, do a great job, and take care of all of our customers. And of course, there's only one phone number you'll ever need to remember.
Call 271-8888, John Betlam Heating and Cooling.
All right. John John Betlam, Heating and Cooling, Game Day Rally Gear, big time sponsors of the program. All right, guys, I've got 10-second thoughts with Patrick Day and Chris Miller. Got a couple questions to come through here, and they're pretty good. Some of them have to relate to the playoffs, so let's get right over to it. Chris, you're going to be the first one up. Your first question is, if the season finale was tonight, who do you have winning the championship?
You're talking the playoff finale. I was lost on that, but 100 Lagoons.
Oh, 100 Lagoons. Wow. Okay. Patrick, who would you pick?
Johnny Evans. I'm going to stick with my guy I chose for the championship.
Okay. All right. Well, all right.
Who would you pick, Ryan?
I mean, I would have to go with either Patrick Day or Timmy Lewis, two-time winners in it. I mean, they're coming back around. So, yeah, I'd give the nod to you, Patrick. All right, next question is for you, Patrick. Does Austin Palmer make the playoffs?
Oh, Lord. Wow. Yes.
Woo! He has been running really well. He has been running really well. He just got to get a full race together.
We got to see which Austin Palmer shows up tonight, but he definitely has the potential. And I can see a couple of rough races for some of those other guys in the top 5 or 10 through 6. So we'll see.
Okay. Chris, same question for you. Does Austin Palmer make the playoffs?
I don't think so. I don't think he gets the victory, and I think I honestly do believe 11th on. I think the playoffs are set if we had a repeat winner with the top 10 drivers as they sit today.
Okay. All right. Next question for you, Chris. And here it is. Is there a path that Derek Roethling can make the playoffs based solely on points?
Well, I just mentioned I think the points are set in the top 10. So Derek's obviously back there in 13th. He's 15 points back of Nick Galushis, so he's going to have a lot of work cut out for him in that spot.
But it's possible. It's doable.
It is possible. It is doable, technically.
Okay. All right. So he's not out yet. So any of those Derek Roethling fans out there that's watching, he doesn't have to have a win, but he needs to have a really good finish and do well in points. All right. Next question for you, Patrick. What can Byron Gay do if he makes the playoffs to advance to the round of 8? What does he need to do?
Keep running in the top 8 like he is right now. Win would help, of course, but I'd have to look at the tracks, really to see if there's strong ones for Byron. But no, I mean, if he keeps running like he is now, keeping in the top 8, he's got a good chance to make it that second round.
Okay. Chris, got any advice for your teammate there? What's he need to do?
I mean, I absolutely agree with Patrick. But, Byron's been impressive all season long. He puts the practice time in. And, I mean, I expect it at this point. I mean, early on, we're talking week 6, week 7. We were sitting here doubting Byron could be here at this point, but he's proven.
Okay. So this next question, we're going to keep it on the Byron Gay talk here is, are you surprised that Byron Gay, at this current time, is tied in points with Paul Fly?
Am I surprised at this point? No. 3 weeks ago, yes, I would be surprised, but no, I'm not today.
All right. So, owner of Miller Time is starting to have faith in his boy Byron Gay. See if that faith continues after tonight at Darlington. We'll see. All right. Patrick, next question is for you. Do we see a green-white checkered finish at Darlington tonight?
No. I think by that time we'll be strung out enough. I think we might have a late caution, but I don't think we'll have a green-white checker. I'm hoping this is what it's going to happen. It's going to be similar to what we had it last week, right, where we had a little bit later caution, but we strung out and finished the race under green. So,
okay, Chris, what do you think? Green-white checker finish here?
I think we're going to have a lot of cautions. I'd like to say we're not going to have a green-white checker, but being that the playoffs are on the line, I hope we don't see anything where I have to make a call as an admin in somebody's playoff run. But
fireworks! Come on, let's see it.
We can see. I think we can see some aggressiveness at the end.
All right. You know it's going to be really bad if you've got someone like Grant Clark, Frank Klein, Ben Ward, Michael Timmerman that's up here leading and gets dumped on the last lap. Man, I wish it wasn't virtual at that point in time, because that would be fun. All right. Last question for you, Chris. How valuable is it to get the pole tonight, and does the winner come from the top 2 rows?
I do think the winner will come from the top 2 rows. Don't know if it's important for the pole, but it's important to be up front.
Okay, Patrick, what's your intake there? Do you think the top 2 rows is going to be where your winner is going to be?
Not necessarily. This is a track where you have to race the track and not the other drivers if you want to finish well. If we have a whole bunch of cautions, a la Bristol, well, maybe, right? Because if you keep on restarts and restarts you up there in the front, you have better. But if we have some green flag runs, you don't necessarily have to be in the top 2 rows to win here. The guy who takes care of his tires the best and is fastest over long runs is going to win the race.
Okay. All right, you heard it from him. All right. Next part of the segment, most important part, is our picks. Top 3 picks tonight here at Darlington. And, well, you know, Patrick Day is leading in points on the track. And, well, it's only fitting that he is leading in the points here on the picks as well. And he has 11 points. Chris right there in striking distance at 10 points. And, yeah, that's it. That's all you need to know. So, let's talk.
I'm curious. Quick question. I'm curious. Before we start this, who won, Michigan or Ohio?
For what?
Well,
Y'all's game.
He's talking our Big Ten championship. So it was
I'm
actually.
glad.
I'm
glad you brought it up.
I'm Notre Dame. He's Cincinnati.
Sorry. Okay.
And we moved him to the Big Ten. But
So yeah, Chris, go ahead and explain what happened.
I'll just admit to defeat. I mean, it wasn't even really a good game, but second quarter he got the best of me, and it was all over from there.
What was the score?
33-20, I think was the final.
Okay. So it wasn't low, it wasn't high. It was right in the middle.
He was up like 30. It might have been 30-7 at one time.
Okay.
I think it was. I got pretty conservative after I got up on him. But unfortunately, I did not make the national championship. I actually got beat by, who was it? Jacob? Is that his name?
Yeah. That's my brother, my younger brother.
Wow. He is fantastic. He is a good player. And he deserved to beat me, and he deserved to go on and win the championship because, wow, he's a good player. He's hard.
He's got a good team over there.
Yes, he does. Tennessee. All right.
Yes.
So let's get into the picks here. Patrick, what does Chris have here in the number 3 spot?
Grant Clark.
Okay.
Good pick. It's a good pick. I don't have Grant here. I have Ben Wirt here. I think Ben's going to run well. He mentioned last week, I believe, in his interview that he likes Darlington. He feels like he can race well here. I don't think there's going to be very many guys that can race well here. I know Ben can also save tires. Tires come into play here a lot of times. So he's going to come up short of the win and not make the playoffs, but I got him in 3rd.
It's a good pick.
All right. Chris, what is Patrick here in his number 3 pick?
Man, I don't know what he's really going to go with. I'm going to say he took Derek here.
Good pick. He definitely needs a good finish, but no, I didn't take him here, unfortunately. I went with a guy that's already locked into the playoffs that doesn't have a win, Hunter Lagoons.
Good pick.
I think he's a good driver. He's going to run well. It's a good track for guys that know how to drive the truck and save the tires, so I think he's going to do well.
That's a no-brainer, really. Hunter Lagoons picking inside the top 3. You almost can guarantee you at least get a 1 point here, no matter where you really stuck him, because he's just been consistently solid inside the top 5 week in, week out, and that's why he's locked himself in on points. And shoot, he's only a few points away from you, Patrick. That's 2-time winner. Of course, we talked about it. He's tied with Timmy Lewis. That's a 2-time winner. Like, wow, what this guy has done coming into this series for the first time is remarkable. So he's done a lot of good things there in that 27. All right, guys, who do I have here in my number 3 spot?
I agree with Timmy Lewis.
Yeah, I was going to say Brent Butler here for you.
So my number 3 pick tonight here at Darlington, I'm going to go with Nick Galusha. He came off of a pretty good race last week, and I think that snowballs here, and I think he makes the playoffs with a good finish here. Nick Galusha, the 20. You're going to see him in the playoffs, and maybe a threat for some guys. He won it last year. Can he win it this year? We'll find out. All right, number 2 spot, guys. Chris has us queued up. Patrick, what's he thinking?
I mean, I could just say Grant Clark until he picks him, right? But I know I'm gonna say I'm gonna say he's gonna say Hunter Lagoons here. Second.
Good pick, and I am taking Hunter Lagoons here, and I agree with everything that you and Ryan both said about him. And, we didn't go into great detail why I picked him as my champion at that point back in the 10-second thoughts, but he's really consistent. Like you've already mentioned, he's tied with Timmy, who's got 2 wins. I think Hunter's going to be sneaky in this playoffs, and I do think he'll get a win in one of the rounds in the playoffs. I'm not saying that'll be Phoenix or where it'll be at, but I think his consistency is going to bring him home that championship.
Yep, it's a good
pick. I don't know if you've noticed, but whenever I talk to him, he's a very relaxed driver when he's out there on the track. Nothing really too big for him, and I think that is really the key to success for him, as nothing's too big for him. Good pick there, number 2 spot. All right, Chris, what does Patrick have here?
I don't know. I think he's going to go with one of the Rat Bastards. I don't know which one. I thought Nick Galusha.
I didn't quite hear that. He was a little quiet for me. What did he say, Ryan?
Nick Galusha.
Nick Galusha? That's a good pick. Sorry, Nick. I don't see you doing real well here at Darlington, but so no, I didn't no care. I will say this: if we have a lot of cautions, Nick's going to do well. So here we go. There we go. So, but no, I actually went with my championship pick, Johnny Eagles here. I think he's just going to fall short, but he's got the I rating to prove it. That he knows how to race tracks like this, and I think he's going to be there at the end.
Solid pick. Already got a win on this series. Knows how to be inside the top 10. Knows how to be inside the top 5. And surely knows how to be inside the top 3. Pretty solid pick there with Johnny Evans. All right, guys. Who do I have here? Number 2 spot at Darlington.
Could we have Hutter Lagoons 3 times here? Let's see if you do.
Okay.
But that's not a bad pick, and I think you will have him in your top 3. So yeah, sure, we'll just roll with it.
Okay, so my number 2 pick here at Darlington is going to go to. I'm going to go off the handle here. Go with Paul Fly here in the 94. I got to make some big moves here. I'm 7 points. Just not doing well right now. So I'm going to go with the 94, Paul Fly. Solid driver, and we don't have a whole lot to go off of, and so I'm going to go with the 94 here. Paul Fly getting the number 2 spot.
It's a good pick. He's stepped his game up definitely with long green flag runs. So yeah, he's got potential.
All right, this is the important one. This is where those that are trying to get in on points want to hear us say a repeat winner. But is it a repeat winner, or do we find a new winner? Let's see.
Well, yeah, come on, Chris, you got to show some Grant Clark some love here.
I am actually going to show Grant Clark some love here. I mean, we've raced here one time, and it was a long time ago, but he was very dominant at this track, and I think he ended up winning by maybe 11 or 14 seconds, something like that, over you, Patrick. So
yeah,
good grief.
I know he's good at this track. What I'm worried about is, you guys both like to qualify back there with us, and I just worry about this track taking him out, but I don't know. I don't think he'll go try to qualify up front, but I think he'll be there at the end.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know what he's thinking. I know he knows it's a strong track for himself, so he might actually try to qualify well and stay up front there. It's hard to say. I won't know until I get in the cockpit and talking with him right before the race. So,
Okay. Interesting. It's an interesting pick. Grant Clark has never been picked at the number 1 spot in Tarmac Esports Countdown to Green Show's history. Why I know this is because I actually had to make that graphic up for this show because I did not have it. So it's his very first pick at the number 1 spot, coming at a track that supposedly is probably one of his most dominant tracks. The 06 Grant Clark, he needs a win to get in. Is he going to get it? All right. Patrick, Chris, what's he thinking, Chris?
I think he's got Grant here too. I mean, Patrick doesn't probably take too many defeats by 14 seconds, so I think he's going to be pretty smart about it.
yep, Chris, you're not gonna get the 3 extra points on me. Yep, Grant's gonna win here. He's, like you said, he's just so dominant at this track. He's got it down. I haven't been able to figure it out like he has yet, but he's definitely got it down. So hopefully he has a clean race tonight and brings it home.
So, I'll give you my number 1 pick here in just a second. But talking about Grant Clark, when Grant Clark seen the schedule come out, was he pretty excited about this track being on it?
I think to race, probably, but I think he knows for the broadcast it's probably going to be a beep show, right? So, But hopefully, gosh, I'm hoping that we can bring it together as a league and have a really good, clean race here. It'll be fun to have a lot of green flag pit stops and see how the strategies work out at this track.
Yeah. I hope you're right. I hope it is very clean. I hope guys give and take, even though this is the final race of the regular season, and some of their destined to go on to the playoffs really matter at this track. But the only way you get there is making it to the end. So we all have to be patient. Whatever happens at the end, if we go green flag for majority of this race and the yellows start stacking up towards the end, so be it. So be it. That might be what has to happen. All right. Who do I have here in the number 1 spot? Do we have a 3-peat here? Do we all think the same?
I don't think so, because you didn't see Grant Clark. I know you heard us talking about him, but you didn't see him run it, so I don't think you have him here. I'm also looking at your pick so far. I'm like, well, did he go a Rat Bastard sweep? But I don't think you see that either. I think you see a new winner and a Kyle Willman and solidifying his way into the championship playoffs.
Okay. Interesting.
I thought about saying Wellman, but I don't think you have Grant Clark here.
Okay.
But I think it's possible you have Hunter Lagoons here getting a win. But I'm gonna really go out on a limb because I think, he's really came on strong and he could just surprise us. But I think you're gonna go with BJ Popham. You need points somehow, and you can't pick Grant to get points.
Yeah, well, BJ has been very, very strong. He has. And I picked him last week to win. He ran strong, was running up front a lot. And so you would think that he's going to do that again tonight. And he very much well could. But did I pick him here? I didn't. I didn't pick him here. I am going with a new winner in the series and a guy that's not inside the top 10. I gotta try to stick to my guns a little bit here, and I gotta go with who I picked as my champion. I think we're gonna see Ben Ward try to get that win. He's gotta go after it. He said that he likes this place and hopes that it treats him well. We'll see if at 14, Ben Ward can get the win and get himself into the playoffs on the very final race of the regular season. It's going to be chaotic. I have a feeling we're on for a very good show tonight. And guys, it's time to go green flag racing at Darlington Raceway. We'll see you guys on the track.
See you on the track, guys.
Yeah, dude.
What does it mean to be official? To earn the badge as a trusted source, a symbol of quality and pride. For 95 years, Craftsman Tools has been the backbone for those who build, for those who innovate, for those who pursue goals greater than themselves. To be the official tool of NASCAR is to represent the best of what's possible. For the teams, for the sport, for the future.
Put on the brake, wheels to the left. Go, 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 go! Go, 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 go.
Oh no!
Be aggressive, everyone.
Checkered flag is in the air, and he has done it!
And that future? Well, it's back to where we started. The NASCAR Truck Series. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series returns in 2023. We build pride. One turn, one lap, one race at a time.
It has all came down to this. The final round of the regular season. This is round 10 here at Darlington Raceway. I'm your host tonight, Ryan Griffith, and I'll have the call all night long as things will be very, very tight with several drivers trying to get themselves in to the playoffs. Who could potentially find themselves into the playoffs? We take a look at some of these drivers that are very important tonight. Kyle Wellman, the 42, he needs a really good finish. You got the 11 of Byron Gay, the 2 of PJ Popham, the 20 of Nick Galusha, and the 23 of Austin Palmer. You take a look there. Don't look at those points. Those points aren't exactly accurate there, but look at where they're at in standings, where they finished at these racetracks. You can see several guys had a rough start to the season. Byron Gay, PJ Popham, and Austin Palmer, they all had rough startings to the season, not doing well at Daytona. Even PJ Popham there, 29th at Las Vegas. So he has had to chew himself out of a hole that he made early on. And you can see things has gotten better. A 16th, a 4th, a 13th, a 3rd, 4th, 7th. And last week, didn't have the finish that he wanted. He ran up front. 19th last week. So PJ Popham has had some momentum on his side. Does that continue tonight here at Darlington? Taking a look at Nick Galusha there, the 20. He was last year's champion in this series. Now, he did not start 2 races, and so that's really hindered and hurt him a little bit in this. But take a look at his last 4 races, a 4th, an 8th, a 9th, and a 3rd. He is looking very, very good coming in here to Darlington to try to get himself in to the playoffs. Austin Palmer, a real shocker to see Austin Palmer, his first year in the series, doing very well in the 23. He started out rough, 28th and 28th at Daytona and Las Vegas, but since then, done very well. A 9th, a 5th, a 3rd. Rough outing there at Michigan at 19th. Then North Wilkesboro, 9th. Kansas 16th, and Chicagoland 18th. So there's been some hiccups in the last couple weeks. Can he get back to that top 10 car that we know that 23 could potentially be? You look at the Kyle Wellman, the 42. He just needs a few places here tonight, and he has clinched himself in. He's looking at a 23rd or better tonight, and he's going to lock himself into the show as well. But you look at there, he's been consistent up and down, consistently up and down. We've talked about this roller coaster ride from doing very, very well to doing really, really poor. So he's had a 22nd, a 22nd, and a 23rd, but he's turned around. He's had a 5th, a 4th, and a 4th. So what roller coaster is he on? Is he on the way to winning tonight, having a good outing, or is he going to finish towards the back and barely make the playoffs or miss the playoffs entirely? We're about to find all of that out tonight here at Darlington Raceway. Can't be any better as they're out there right now taking qualifying times. And you can see there we got about 50 seconds left in this. And Timmy Lewis, last week's winner, he is on top of that leaderboard right now. Ben Moore putting in a really good time there. Ben Moore, another one of those drivers that needs a win tonight. Trevor Catalano in that 3rd position. He also needs a win to get in. PJ Popham, we'll talk a little bit more about him. He can get in on points. He is currently 4th on that board. Nick Galusha can get in on points. He is 5th. 6th, Paul Fly. He's got a win. He's locked himself in. 7th, Derek Roffling. We talked a little bit about that in the Countdown to Green show. He needs a win. He really does. He would need a lot of things to happen if he's going to try to bid him way in on points. So we'll see how that all plays out tonight. We'll keep an eye on the 88 machine. Austin Palmer in the 8th position. Talked about him. 9th, Johnny Evans. He's got a win. And Sean Smith has got to win. That's your top 10 in qualifying. As you can see, qualifying has just concluded. So we're going to get this thing fired up. We're going to get the grid out there and get these cars going around this place. We can't wait to get this one started. Take a look at the race facts tonight. Well, there it is. 147 laps is where we're going. We're going 200 miles tonight. And that pit road speed, 45 miles per hour. That fuel window, I think we're going to look at somewhere between lap 49 to lap 60 if we go green flag all the way. Weather tonight, it's a little hot out there. 86 degrees and mostly cloudy. So we'll start to see that cloud cover come and go, and that will dictate the temperature of that surface. While we have shade and that track is covered by nice cool temperatures, these trucks will start to move around that track a lot faster. All right, so we got these drivers coming up on here onto the grid. You can see him, the 41, Timmy Lewis. He got the win last week. Can he get a win this week and be a 3-time winner in the series? We're going to talk to Austin Palmer, as Austin Palmer has done very, very well this season. We take a look at some of his stats here. He's had 2 top 5s, he's had 4 top 10s, and 7 top 20s. His best finish came at 3rd at Watkins Glen. His worst finish at early in the season, Daytona and Las Vegas, and we have not seen that yet since those 2 races early in the season. Austin, you're going to need at least to finish 11 spots better than Nick Galusha to try to get yourself in on this one. What's your goal tonight? You going after that win?
Yeah, man, I just got to get everything I got tonight. You know, it's really my last bet here. I got to either get a win or, like you said, finish 11 spots in front of Nick. So we'll see what happens.
All right, we'll keep an eye on the 23. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
That was Austin Palmer there, the 23. Another driver that we want to talk to is a guy that just hasn't had the best of season. It's been an up and down season. There's Derek Roffling in the 88. We look there. He's had 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s, and 5 top 20s. His best finish came at Kansas. He finished 2nd, but he had 2 bad races early in the season, Daytona and Rockingham, where he finished 23rd. Tonight, he's needed to finish 16 spots better than Nick Galusha and Austin Palmer, currently in 13th place. We look at this 88. Derek, what's it going to take? We feel like you really have to get this win, and how aggressive are you going to be to make sure that happens tonight?
I think we got to be pretty aggressive, at least aggressive as we can without wrecking, because it is pretty loose out here. So, yeah, we got a tough situation here. We got Austin Palmer to my outside here, and we got Nick Galusha right in front of me. So, yeah, tough situation to be in, but we got to make the most of it. We got to drive our heart out here to at least give ourselves a shot and try and be there at the end.
All right, good luck to you in that 88.
Thanks, Ryan.
All right, next driver we want to talk to is the 20 machine of Nick Galusha, as we will grab Nick Galusha. Nick Galusha has not got a win yet on the season. He has got 2 top 5s and 5 top 10s, 7 top 20s. His best finish came at Chicagoland. And so, our last year's champion, the 20, you're going to have to race your way in tonight. What's your plan tonight to get in, as you need to finish 4th or better in points, and you don't want to see a repeat winner out there to be able to get in on points?
No, I'm definitely hoping for a repeat winner and just stay off the walls. That's going to be probably the toughest task of the night for everybody.
All right, we'll keep an eye on the 20 machine tonight. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
We'll take a gander down here, because this guy has been on the move for the last couple weeks here. That's PJ Popham. He's got 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s, and 7 top 20s. His best finish came at Michigan, where he finished 3rd. His worst finish came very early in the season, 33rd at Daytona and 29th at Las Vegas. Tonight, he needs to finish 9th or better to make the playoffs based on points. He's currently 9th in points. PJ, what's it going to take to make sure that you're inside that top 9 tonight, and how aggressive are you going to be to try to even just go after that win tonight? We're not getting communication from PJ Popham at the time. All right, we'll move on. We cannot get communications through PJ Popham, as we will move on to the next very important driver that has done fairly well this season, and it's been a solid season for Byron Gay. He has no top 5s yet, but he has finished 6 times inside the top 10, 7 top 20s. His best finish was 6th this year at Michigan and Wilkesboro. So, Byron, you're needing to finish at least 16th or better tonight to make it on points tonight. What's your goals tonight?
Stay clean, finish on the lead lap. Honestly, it's just going to boil down to that. I mean, we don't know how these guys are going to race that need points more than I do, so it's just what I can at this point.
All right, good luck to you in that 11. We'll keep an eye on you.
Thanks.
So that was the 11 of Byron Gay, and Byron Gay starting way back here in the 22nd position. You can see him there. What's it going to take for that 11 to get in victory lane? Hey, you got Paul Fly. He's already locked himself into the playoffs. He got that win at Las Vegas, and he is tied right now in 7th in points. And if he didn't get that win, he would be right in the same situation as Byron Gay. But tonight, he's not in that situation because he's locked himself in with that win. Other driver to note, the 42, Kyle Wellman, needs to finish 23rd or better tonight to make the playoffs. We are green flag in this one, as we've already got a car down on the inside and spinning. That looked like it was Michael Timmerman, and we talked about it, that there's a good possibility that we not see a caution flag for a car spinning down on the bottom. And there goes another one. That was Paul Fly spinning down to the inside. The caution flag does wave on this one. The 94 of Paul Fly gets loose on the exit of 2. A lot of drivers talked about this, that these trucks get very, very loose very, very quickly on the exit of these turns, especially out of turn 2. So that'll be a turn to keep an eye on as we go throughout today. All right. So first caution flag of the day is by Paul Fly here, and see if we can bring that back to show you. There it is on the exit. Gets loose right in front of Austin Palmer, and I'm sure Austin Palmer did not want to see that, as Austin Palmer is one of those drivers that are trying to race their way in on points. So you don't want to see that happen right in front of you. We'll take another look with Austin Palmer. See, that car just gets loose, around it goes. So under caution for the first time today. This one's going to be for Paul Fly in the 94. Timmy Lewis leading this race. And you got PJ Popham that qualified very, very well here. He's in the 2nd position. There's a couple drivers up here that needs a win to lock themselves in. That is running 3rd right now. Trevor Catalano cannot make it in on points. Absolutely not. He has to get a win. Derek Rothling needs a win. Ben Ward needs a win to get in. Kyle Smith probably going to need a win to get in. As you look down the line here, you notice that you don't see a name of Kyle Wellman in this one. We have 24 drivers in this race. And as our calculations was at the beginning of the broadcast, was that Kyle Wellman needed to finish at least 23rd or better to make the playoffs. And as of right now, he's a scratch in this one, which is concerning. So we'll have to check the standings at the very end to make sure that he is out. But right now, if our calculations are right, Kyle Wellman will end up not making the show. Again, a lot of that matters on where some of these other drivers finish as well in this one. back to green flag. This is the tricky part, getting out of 2. That's where we've been seeing problems. See, guys, just single and file all the way back. All clear through that turn. As the sun beats down, track gets a little slick. Hard to hold on to the thing, but right now, all is good. And you can see the times go by. That's your last lap times that pop up. So you can see that Timmy Lewis faster than anybody else. He's the only one in the 31-second bracket here at Darlington. See how quick things start to pan out, as you won't see as much close racing. There's a big group back here that are racing for each other. Single file right now. Got two-time winner Patrick Day back here. Byron Gay's there in the 11th position. Byron Gay's moved up 5 spots from the green flag. Let's see, going to take a position away here is Patrick Day. Hunter Lagoons underneath Byron Gay. Byron got kind of trapped in behind the 8 machine. But he's able to get down underneath, and so that gave up the spot for Hunter Lagoons. Hunter Lagoons is up 5 spots. Here we go. We've seen the Smith brothers, Kyle Smith and Sean Smith. Kyle just put the pass on him. Sean Smith in 77, he got himself a win about 2 weeks ago and locked himself into the show. A lot of talks by the 06 machine that he would have a pretty good race here. See how this pans out for the 06. Grant Clark, he's needing to win to be able to get into the show or the playoffs. His teammate right behind him, the 24, Patrick Day. Hunter Lagoons right behind him. They are 10 seconds already behind the race leaders. So about a third of the lap down already. 11 laps into this race. And that may be by design. As you look at the lap times, and you know they're not terribly off the pace of the leaders. And Timmy Lewis is out there knocking down some good laps right now. He's almost got a second lead over PJ Popham. Here goes Hunter Lagoons underneath the 24. And he'll take that position away from the 24. Austin Palmer here. We'll take a look. Trip inside Austin Palmer. See how far off the throttle they have to get through that turn. That was through 3 and 4. Nick Galusha starting to pressure PJ Popham. Timmy Lewis out front by 1.3 second lead now. It's the 41. He's really came on strong the last couple weeks. Sean Peterson there in the 13 machine. He's inside the top 10, currently running in the 9th spot. Hunter Lagoons, he started 23rd in this race. He's up to 13th already. Your biggest mover in the race. So no one elected to pit on that first initial spin there, and after the exit of 2, really no reason to. First turn, first spin by Paul Fly. Paul Fly went around, and currently Paul Fly is back up in the 15th spot, so he's starting to rebound. But our first pit stops looking to happen on lap 49 to lap 60 is about what the pit window is scheduled for. Timmy Lewis now a 1.5 second lead over PJ Popham. These guys back here are just kind of running with each other. That's PJ Popham, Nick DeLucia, Trevor Catalano, Austin Palmer, and then you got the 14 of Ben Ward. And Ben Ward actually has caught these guys, and it's a car that's caught the wall just a little bit there. See, the 20 got a little loose there, and he's going to lose a couple of spots. It's right on board with the 14. A lot of finesse here. That's what's fun about this place. Is takes a really good, solid driver to pull off some great laps around here. It's hard to hit them every single lap. It's all the 41 right now. He's up front and continues to knock down really fast laps. 31.8 the last time around, and he's been the class of the field since he dropped the green flag. Really, nobody else really faster right now. You see Sean Smith down there. He turned to 31.7 on his last lap there. Sean Smith, winner 2 weekends ago. Oh, and there's the mistake. One little mistake, and that was the 41 that got up into the wall there. He brushed the wall. He holds on to it. But that did knock off quite a bit of time. He had almost a 1.5 second gap on PJ Popham as we stocked Trevor Catalano underneath PJ Popham for second. And the 56 were clearing. Ben Wart in a 14 right behind PJ Popham. Ben Wart's one of those that needs a win. We're getting reports from iRacing that Paul Fly was involved in a wreck. Let's see if we can catch up on that. He is one lap down and out of this race. Let's take a look at it. Ben's all by himself down there. So now Trevor Catalano able to get around the 2 of PJ Popham. Can Trevor Catalano track down Timmy Lewis? Ben Wart now underneath PJ Popham. There's Austin Palmer. It's one thing getting there. The next thing is being able to complete the pass. That's what's hard. Hunter Lagoons is now up into the 10th spot. He's went up 13 spots since the very beginning of this race. See the 2. Oh, got loose there on the axis. Somehow holds on to it and holds the position. Trevor Catalano is starting to catch Timmy Lewis. Catalano scrapes the wall there. Good race back here for third. That's PJ Popham and Ben Wart. Ben Wart still trying to find a way around the 2. Both these drivers are dirt drivers. You almost want to see a mistake by the 2, and there is a mistake there. It gets a little loose there. It opens up the door for the 14. Can he get underneath and clear? He will. The 2 kind of said, okay, I've had enough. You can get around me. Now the 23 going to pressure. Austin Palmer. We got an incident with Nick Galusha. Involved in an incident. Let's take a look at it. If it's a single car spin down on the bottom, iRacing will not call those, so you got to be careful. As take a look at it. Nick Galusha. Oh, he about saved that, and then it goes down to the inside, and he hits it pretty good. PJ Popham involved in an incident. Take a look. Oh, and he may have got a little help there by the 23. As the caution flag did not wave on that either. Single car spins to the inside. iRacing is not going to call, and so that really shakes things up if things like that happens. Got to keep yourself clean. I love that iRacing does that too. Guys will figure that one out and say, you know what? I can't do that. Ben Wart now runs in the 3rd position, but the race for the lead has heated up with the 56 of Trevor Catalano is caught to the back bumper of Timmy Lewis. Timmy Lewis has led 30 laps of this one. With Nick Galusha hitting the inside wall, he has taken some damage, so he is now 1 lap down. And we took a look at Nick Galusha here, and there's what it is. Nick Galusha, we said that he needs to finish 4th or better and doesn't want to see a repeat winner. And he's in some big-time trouble right now. That opens up the door for that next guy, which would be Austin Palmer. And so we highlighted that with Austin Palmer. We said that Austin Palmer needed to finish 11th spots better than Nick Galusha. And right now, Austin Palmer is running 7th. And Nick Galusha is running 21st. We do have caution flag on the speedway. Take a look at it here on lap 30. Johnny Evans. He tried to save it. Down to the inside. Going to hit the inside wall. And that right there is why iRacing called it. Because he backed back up onto the track. He let iRacing call that one because he was coming back up onto the track. That's unfortunate that they're going to play this game of, hey, we're going to let iRacing call this one by letting that truck coast back up onto the track. And that's for him, it don't really matter because he's already locked himself into the playoffs. But you take a look at like Nick Galusha, he has not, and their teammates, and you wonder if that was intentional because Nick Galusha was in a lot of trouble if something didn't happen here. As we are under caution for the second time today, and we've got cars in on pit road. Ben Warp missed his pit stop, overshot it there. You can see him backing up to it. So he came in second. You'll imagine he'll probably drop a few spots here coming out as Timmy Lewis will come out. And Trevor Catalano. Then you got Derek Roffling, Hunter Lagoons, then Ben Warp after overshooting his pit stall. Sean Smith there in the 77. Kyle Smith in the 45 in 7th. 8th, Grant Clark. 9th, Ryan Palmer. And good to see the 10 truck back there, Ryan Palmer, as we spoke in the last couple episodes, Countdown to Green session. Yeah, he had a devastating fire to his family business, and he lived kind of attached to that business and lost everything, all power, all gas, everything, so he wasn't able to really be there. They live in up around Buffalo, and so that's a very, very cold area, and you imagine going there without no heat. That's pretty much a no-no. But good to see the 10 truck back on the speedway. He has locked himself in to the playoffs with his win at Daytona, and here he is at Darlington. Good to see him back. Lights are out on the iRacing pace car. We're going to get a green flag here. Derek Roffling doing well. Currently in the 4th position, but Hunter Lagoons is a guy on the move. He's up 20 spots in this race. Currently in the 3rd position. 4th position, really. But that 2nd row, outside lane. Green flag back in the air. With that pit stop underway there, now we're going to look at a pit window between lap 82 and lap 94 on this run. We can stay green flag that long. Timmy Lewis has been really, really hard to beat on these short runs. He is fast out of the gate. Really, nobody else can really contend with that. It really is going to take a long green flag run for guys to be able to track down Timmy Lewis. So we take a look at, as these guys go around here, we take a look at the point standings, and there it is. There's what it looks like. Those that's in gold is locked into the playoffs. And so you can see the bubble line is really right there at 10th place to get in on points. Unless we see somebody back here that's listed in red that could potentially win today, then that 10th spot would no longer be available in points. So right now, you know, you got Kyle Wellman that's not here. We said that he needed to finish 23rd or better. So if that is the case, that would kind of knock him out of that 10th spot there. And then that moves a driver in, which would be Austin Palmer. But again, it's really early. Some things could shake out a little bit different that would prevent that from happening. So we'll keep an eye on it. Patrick Day getting by Sean Smith here for 8th. His teammate Grant Clark right behind him. PJ Popham in the 2. He knows where his spot needs to be. As we talked about that one, and there it is, the 2 of PJ Popham needs to finish 9th or better to make the playoffs. And right now, he is currently in the 11th spot. Byron Gay right behind him. Byron Gay right there. He needs to finish 16th or better. And right now, he's doing what he needs to do in the 12th position. A lot of pressure by PJ Popham on Grant Clark here, the 06. And Popham knows where he needs to be, and that has to be a little bit of an unsettling feeling that if you are in that 11th spot that you are at jeopardy of not making the playoffs. And a lot of moving pieces, so a lot of things may not be exactly what we think they are until this thing is completely over. And here's PJ Popham down underneath the 06 of Grant Clark. They're side by side for that 10th position. It looks like PJ will clear him down here in turn 1, and he will. Ben Wart right behind Hunter Lagoons. That's, moved up through the field fairly quickly, and see where he stands. Derek Rothling runs in the 3rd spot. Derek Rothling really needing a win to get in. But you never know. He has a good, solid finish here, and some of these other guys right in front of him, like Austin Palmer, Nick Galusha, for example, having a bad night. If Nick Galusha has a bad night, there's a chance that Derek Rothling could get in. Again, Timmy Lewis just explodes out of a cannon on fresh tires to about a 1.5 second lead. Is what happened last time. And then Trevor Catalano slowly started to reel him back in after about 30 laps. So it's still really early in this run. We've got about 8 laps in on these tires, and how hard did Timmy Lewis run those 8 laps, and how quick will Trevor Catalano start to catch him? A lot of these guys, it's bidding on points like the Derek Rothling. He's looking for a repeat winner or a really good finish, a 2nd or a 3rd, if he's not able to win it. Ryan Palmer's up 17 spots in this race. He's in the 7th position. Ryan Palmer is doing very, very well here tonight. Byron Gay runs 13th right now. He's gained 9 spots from the drop of the green flag. Hasn't really went anywhere from here. He's kind of hovered right here in this spot, but as long as he finishes 16th or better, and it's looking better every time, as we've got a car that's in the wall. It's Dalton Dunk. Take a look at it. Yeah. Round he goes by himself and holds on to it, and it keeps us green for the moment, and then the caution flag does wave. So we're on our third caution flag. With Timmy Lewis, the class of the field so far in this one. We'll take a break. We'll be right back here at Darlington. Don't go anywhere.
When it comes to heating and cooling, at John Betlam, we promise to take the utmost care. We'll make sure your repair's done right and any new installation is perfect. It's how we've done business since 1941. Our customers, you, are our priority. And when you need us, we're ready to help. It's our promise. So that's why there's something important that you should know. Did you know there are 2 heating and cooling companies here in Rochester that share a similar name? Betlam. And that's confusing. So make sure when you search for us online, you look for John Betlam. It's easy to confuse, so whenever you need us, be sure to search for and call John Betlam. Because it's my grandfather, John Betlam, who taught us to work hard, do a great job, and take care of all of our customers. And of course, there's only one phone number you'll ever need to remember.
Call 271-8888. John Betlam Heating and Cooling.
All right, welcome back to Darlington Raceway for the Tarmac Esports Truck Series presented by John Betlam Heating and Cooling and Game Day Rally Gear. You definitely need to check them out. John Betlam Heating and Cooling. Give them a call at 271-8888. And then you've got Game Day Rally Gear at GameDayRallyGear.com. There are 2 premier sponsors in this truck series, and if it wasn't for them, we would not be speaking to you right now live on YouTube. We are under caution for the 3rd time today. Dalton Dunk was the culprit of a single car spin with Chris Miller down on the inside. May have touched just a little bit there, but we are under caution for the 3rd time today. We did see a couple drivers come in and pit. So we seen Patrick Day, PJ Popham, Grant Clark, and Byron Gay come into the pit. We also see Michael Timmerman come in and pit. So a few drivers it's going to be on some newer set of tires. As there it is, you can see it. So starting with Patrick Day, they're on lap 49 was their last pit stop. Everybody else on lap 32. How much of a difference on the tires does that make? As the iRacing pace car lights are out, ready to get back to racing. There's your biggest movers in this race. Still Hunter Lagoon's up 20 spots. Logan Coe up 11. Ryan Palmer up 17. Nick Galusha got his lap back his last time by, and well, I thought he did. Maybe he didn't. PJ Popham now 1 spot out of where he needs to be. Right there running that bubble. I believe that was where he needs to be. I always got to go back and check. There's so much going on. But he does need to finish a 9th or better. I'm sorry. So he's still got a few more trucks to get around to be in contention for this playoff spot. .41 gets up into the wall. We've seen that happen a couple times for that 41. And now that 41 looking to lead the most laps in this race too, because he's been out front since the drop of the green flag. He's led all 54, and see the 41 got up into the wall again, slowed way down. We talked about that. Hey, is that truck going to grab? And absolutely did, as Timmy Lewis makes a mistake, and several trucks go around him. And Derek Roffling, is he going to hold on to it? He does. He gets really loose. Roffling about lost the handle on that one. There, that opens up the door for PJ or Ben Wart. So we do have a new race leader because of a mistake up front by Timmy Lewis. 56 of Trevor Catalano takes over that spot. So that one little mistake cost Timmy Lewis 5 spots, and there he is. Back here behind the 88. PJ Popham able to get around a few drivers here with some fresher tires, has helped out. He's up to 7th. So he's on fresher tires than what some of these guys in front of him. Patrick Day is too, but he's not moving up the field as quick. I think he's probably going to save some of those tires, maximize the length on them. There goes PJ to the inside of the 41. And really, it does help out the case for like PJ Popham. If you're able to lead a lap, you lead a lap, it's an extra bonus point. You lead the most laps, you got an extra 3 bonus points. So you could have 4 bonus points just on leading laps here. This is going to be hard to lead more than what already Timmy Lewis has done. Now, there's plenty of time to do that. Right now, Timmy Lewis has led the most to around 54 laps in this one. Hunter Lagoons is on the bumper of the 56 of Trevor Catalano. Ben Wart's right there too. He's one that needs a win. Running 3rd right now. 56 gets really high. You see the scrapes. Imagine if this was a night race. You'd be seeing scrapes all over the place. See how fresh some fresher tires are. PJ Popham is right here with these guys. In just a few laps, able to make up a lot of time. Now the 2 to the inside of the 14. He will clear the 14. Sean Smith is in the pits. Derek Roffling has entered the pits. So some trouble for the 88 machine. You can see a little bit of damage on that outside, right, or the right outside. There's been in just a little bit. Not what the 88 wanted to see. So if there's any 88 fans out there watching, it's not looking good for that 88 in this one, as we will be closing in on the halfway point of this race here in the next few laps or so. And here we go. We got a new leader potentially, with Hunter Lagoons getting to the inside of Catalano. Catalano's just using the outside wall up. These guys are going to put on a show here up front. Catalano don't want to give that position up just yet. Catalano knows that he's got to win to get in, and he holds off the 27 for now. '27's pretty strong today. Up 21 spots in this race. Now Now he's going to look underneath. PJ Popham with new tires got up to these guys, but now it's hard to make the pass. As I say that, the 2 makes a big move down to the inside, and now he's going to go after the race leader. That's PJ Popham to the front. Who will lead this lap? It will be Trevor Catalano, so no bonus points to the 2 that desperately needs that extra bonus point. That extra bonus point means that he could finish 10th or worse and make the playoffs. That 1 extra bonus point matters by 1 spot. 2 goes way down onto the raceway, and the 52 gets into the outside wall, and that was just what PJ Popham needed. PJ Popham to the front, and he will lead that lap. And so all he needs to do is finish 10th or better now. Getting that bonus point. So now we'll probably see him drive off from these guys. He's got some pressure tires and all the other ones. But I would say he would probably want to pit around the same time as some of these guys that are on older tires. He gets maximized the use of those. Starting to see the 24 start to come alive. He's on those fresh tires too. We'll switch that over so you can tell who's on what lap of tires. And there he is. PJ Popham at the point, and then Patrick Day there in the 6th position, and then Grant Clark, and then Byron Gay. Now, I'd say a lot of these are probably saving some tires versus what PJ did. PJ was quick to get up there up front. PJ's running a 31.1. And Patrick Day running a 31.9. So take a look the next time by what those times look like. There's Nick Galusha, currently a lap down in 14th position. And there's PJ's time, a 31.2. So PJ's 31.9. I mean, Patrick Day's 31.9. So big time difference right now. You can tell that Patrick Day is saving those tires, and PJ is running away with it. He says, I just got to go. I got to go right now. There is the interval. A 3.2 second interval back to Hunter Lagoons. And there is Hunter. And Hunter has not led a lap yet today. Got close there with battle with Catalano. As you can see, Catalano is starting to drop here a little bit. You got PJ or Ben Wart getting to his inside. As Catalano can't seem to stay off the wall. Timmy Lewis made that mistake and was up front running in this one, and now he's all the way back into the 7th spot right now. There's the 41. So this is a good time to go through the field, and starting at the point, you got the 2 of PJ Popham leading the way. Hunter Lagoons, he is running in 2nd and has had a really good race so far. He started close towards the back, and now he is up here running inside the top 5. Ben Wart runs into 3rd position, needs a win tonight. Trevor Catalano runs 4th, and he needs a win as well to get in. Austin Palmer runs 5th, doing well tonight. He needs some good points tonight to get in, and he's doing what he needs to do tonight. Patrick Day runs 6th. 7th is Timmy Lewis. 8th runs Kyle Smith. 9th runs Ryan Palmer. 10th, Logan Coe. 11th runs Grant Clark. And 12th runs Byron Gay. Chris Miller runs 13th, and Nick Galusha runs 14th. And then you got in 15th here, you got Logan Coe, that is 3 laps down, and Dalton Dunk, that is 7 laps down. Derek Roffling is currently off of the speedway, and Sean Smith off the speedway as well. Michael Timmerman. Johnny Evans off the speedway. Daniel Quigley's off the speedway. So several of these guys on down through here are off of the speedway. They are out of this race. That's unfortunate for Roffling, as he seemed to be running well and then just had an incident. Darlington will come out and bite you. They'll bite you quick. As PJ Popham now has a 5.5 second lead over Ben Wart, that took over that spot from Hunter Lagoons. So we are getting very close to pit stops for some of these guys that stopped on lap 32. So their pit window is going to be on lap 82 to 94. So we're going to start to see maybe some green flag pit stops here. As PJ Popham now out to a 6.2 second lead over second place Ben Wart. Patrick Day running 6th. He's on the same set of tires as PJ Popham. And see the 14 gets into the outside wall there. It slows him down a little bit. Not enough for the 27 to get to him, but you can see those tires are starting to be treacherous for these guys. Really tightens up those cars. As we could see them anytime within the next 4 laps through lap 94. Imagine they would want to try to, if they can, potentially push this as far as they can to make this just one more stop for them. So if my calculations is right, to make it all the way, these guys that are on lap 32 would need to go to at least lap 87 before we start to see them pit. And that would get them close to making it to the end, right there. And PJ Popham now out to a 7-second lead. Then more into the outside wall. Patrick Day, see his lap times there. They come across the stripes. Byron Gay running in the 12th spot. Chris Miller, 1 lap down. Back up here with PJ Popham. PJ at a 7.6 second lead over second place Ben Wart right now. And he is knocking down times here. 32.047 right now, as that truck will eventually start to fall off. He's running some hot laps out here. Can't tell that guy to slow down. He's a dirt driver. Uses all the racetrack there. Every bit of it. So there he crosses the stripe, and there's Ben Wart. And Ben Wart will cross the stripe now. Quite the distance. As we look on board with Ben Wart. He can't even see PJ Popham right now. He's just kind of running his own race right now. Here's PJ Popham. As he is starting to close in on Byron Gay. You can see him 2 cars in front of that truck right there. Is Byron Gay into the outside wall. We'll watch as the leader gets around these two. Lap 86 is here. One more lap is where we kind of said, hey, that's where they could stop and make it the rest of the way. As Nick Galusha is in the pits. See just how much faster the 2 is. Came really fast up onto the 11. Now the 2 is going to get this run on the 11 and is going to try to put the 11 a lap down, and he will do so. Oh, he lost a little bit of time there. 6.6 seconds back to Ben Wart now. Trying to get through lap traffic there. We'll just look at that time and continue to watch that time and see if that time drops and how hard was Ben Wart out there running on those laps. Probably pretty hard. PJ Popham was out there running on those laps, so if you start to see that number drop real quick, you'd think that PJ Popham would want to stop about the same time as the 14. Ryan Palmer has entered pit road. So he is a regular scheduled pit stop here for him. See, Chris Miller's already stopped. Nick Galusha has stopped. Ryan Palmer's in currently right now. Trevor Catalano has entered the pits. Lewis is now entering the pits. These guys that's pitting now is going to have a little bit of an advantage over all these other drivers. You can see Austin Palmer drops way to the bottom. I think Austin is deciding he's going to pit. And he will. Austin Palmer in. Question is, how long will PJ Popham stay out there? He last pitted on lap 49, but he can make it from here if he stops now. Hunter Lagoon's in. Patrick Day is in. Patrick Day, he pitted the same time as PJ Popham, and he is back in. Popham is still out there, and Popham is going to miss his pit stop, and I don't think he hit the commitment cone. I do not think the two hit the pit commitment cone before he came in, and I think he will probably get an unsafe pit entrance for the two. That's going to be a big mistake by Popham. That turns over the lead to Ben Wart. We'll have to keep an eye on PJ Popham. See if he does get an unsafe pit entrance. Ryan Palmer want to get around the 14. He did it a while ago. Well, I just feel like the 14 probably needs to come down here soon. So there's a lot of time for these guys that's got fresh tires. Him and Byron Gay, the only two that has not pit yet. And PJ Popham back in the pit, so he did get a black flag for an unsafe pit entrance. So huge mistake by PJ Popham. Had a huge lead too, and made a big time mistake. And PJ Popham all the way back to 13. As the 11 gets into the wall, that created a 3 wide action right there. The 11, Byron Gay still not yet pit. 14 still yet to pit. Maybe they're thinking that there's going to be a caution here. I don't know. Here comes the 14. Good entrance by the 14. Much better. PJ Popham just overshot it. And that big mistake, PJ Popham was leading this race by 6.5 seconds, is now running in the 13th position. One mistake like that is what could end up ultimately costing you to make the playoffs. $14 in for service. Hunter Lagoon's probably going to set up really nicely here. Last pitted on 92. He's going to probably retain this lead, take the lead over. Patrick Day looking all right too, as we've got a caution flag on the speedway. And that is going to benefit Ben Wart. Out of all people, Ben Wart. And that's going to benefit him huge, as he's going to come out in third. Now that hurts for these guys that are a lap down. And we'll take a look at that in this interval here. You can see it. Colin Peterson, 2 laps down. Not too bad there. Several guys about to become another lap down. PJ Popham, maybe a break for him, because he would have been way behind the 8 ball after just making a mistake there, coming down pit road, overshot it, unsafe entrance. Probably should have just sped up and went on around. Man, those decisions are really hard in those moments. And I imagine PJ Papa's probably beating himself up for that one. Ben Wart going to be second here. And we'll have the fresher tires of those in front of him. And this thing could go green flag to the end, potentially. And right now, he's going to set with the best looking tires. All right, let's take a look at what happened. I am unsure what happened there. Whoa. That truck just kicked right. And I'm not sure. And I'm not sure if the 56 even seen that truck, because he was just kind of rolling around there. So take a look at Trevor Catalano here. Nope, he tried to get down. She got that momentum, and that's unfortunate for Trevor. That's the kind of season that Trevor's had, and looking to miss the playoffs now. So here is your last pit. Hunter Lagoon's on lap 92. Ben Wart on lap 97. So he's got 5 laps fresher tires. Then Austin Palmer at 91. Grant Clark at 98. He's sitting really good. Patrick Day at 99. We're getting things situated here for another restart. It has not been the caution-filled race that we kind of thought it may have turned into be. It's actually been a very good race. Been clean. Seen a lot of green flag runs, flag pit stops. See if we can dial up the 2 machine. BJ, you got a copy?
Can you hear me?
We've got you.
Yeah.
You've been fast out there, and but unfortunate there, coming down pit road, missed the cone, commitment cone, and ultimately got yourself a black flag. But you've got the truck to beat out there. You've shown the speed. What's it going to take to get back up there like you did before?
Well, no more driver mistakes. You know, we made a good call and got some tires. So I'm trying to figure out the lineup here. So I'm going to let you go.
Thank you. All right, they're working on lineups. As you heard it there. Sometimes iRacing does some crazy things. As pace car's coming back down, that pace car will come right back out here. We will not go green here. All right, while we try to get this situated, we will take a commercial break. We'll be right back with you.
What does it mean to be official? To earn the badge as a trusted source, a symbol of quality and pride. For 95 years, Craftsman Tools has been the backbone for those who build, for those who innovate, for those who pursue goals greater than themselves. To be the official tool of NASCAR is to represent the best of what's possible. For the teams, for the sport, for the future.
Put on the brake, wheels to the left. Go, 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 go! Go, 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 go.
Oh no!
Be aggressive, everything.
Checkered flag is in the air, and he has done it!
And that future? Well, it's back to where we started. The NASCAR Truck Series. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series returns in 2023. We build pride. One turn, one lap, one race at a time.
All right, welcome back to Darlington Raceway, where we are back under green flag conditions here after we were under caution there for just a few moments. You got Hunter Lagoons out front leading this one, and Austin Palmer runs second, and Ben Ward runs in the third position. So that last caution flag flew when there was some green flag pit stops taking place, and that's what really has shook this thing up a lot, as only your top 7 are on the lead lap. You got Ryan Palmer, Nick DeLucia, PJ Poppin, Chris Miller, and Logan Coe that is 1 lap down right now. So you got 7 trucks that are still on the lead lap. And Austin Palmer has taken over the race lead from Hunter Lagoons. This is a guy that's trying to get his first win in this series. He's ran fairly well here. And you take a look at Austin Palmer. He's had 2 top 5 finishes, so he knows how to be inside the top 5. It's a matter of staying up there when it matters the most. He's had 4 top 10s and 7 top 20s. And his best finish was actually at a road course, Watkins Glen. So we already highlighted that he needed to finish 11 spots better than Nick DeLucia to get in, but if you win the race, well, that don't even matter at all. Right now, he is running first, and Nick DeLucia is running 10th. So right now, this would knock Nick DeLucia out of the playoffs, potentially, with Austin Palmer winning here, if he holds on to win. Still a lot of racing left to go. Another 37 laps around this place. Anything can happen here. Going back here, you got Ben Ward. We talked about Ben. He needs a win to get in. Points not going to do it for him. He needs a victory tonight, and he runs in the 4th spot right now. Those guys in 2nd and 3rd, Hunter Lagoons, Timmy Lewis, they've locked themselves up into the playoffs. Patrick Day, he's locked himself up in the playoffs. Then you got Grant Clark, He needs a win to get in. 45 all over the back bumper of Grant Clark there. Wow. And as we speak, Ryan Palmer having some issues. Take a look. Oh, man. Take one more look at that with Ryan Palmer. Gets in with the 2 of PJ Popham. Somehow PJ Popham holds on to that thing. Oh, woo! Nick Galusha got lucky there. Grant Clark involved in an accident here. And you know what? Kyle Smith has been all over the back bumper in that 06. I just wonder if there is something going on there that we don't know about, because, I mean, they were racing like it's the last lap. And around goes the 06, and the caution flag flies out on the speedway. Austin Palmer elects to stay out. That might have been the wrong move as everybody else comes down pit road. Austin Palmer stays out. Grant Clark is going to pit. PJ Popham probably going to stay out here. Just to get a lap back. He will. He'll be the lucky dog. Wow. At a turn of events here, Austin Palmer stays out. Everybody else decides to go down pit road. Was that the right move? There comes Hunter Lagoons out. Timmy Lewis right in front of him. So you take a look at the most important thing on laps on tires. There you can see it. Timmy Lewis at 113 and then Austin Palmer at 91. So if this thing goes green flag to the end, that was probably a mistake on Austin Palmer. But if we see a caution flag potentially wave, it could be an all right move. Well, that's exactly the caution flag that PJ Popham really wanted to see. He is back on the lead lap, running in the 7th spot. iRacing pace car will dip off the speedway, and we're going to go back to green flag here in the Geico restart zone. How quick will Austin Palmer lose the lead here? Timmy Lewis, hold on to it. He does. Stacks everything up behind him. They hold on to it. Hunter Lagoons looking for your race lead from Austin Palmer. And see how the 27 on new tires could just drive down the hill, and that was too easy for the 27. Kind of sandwiched here. No lane to go through. Grant Clark running 7th here. Right in front of him is teammate Patrick Day, a 2-time winner in the series. Runs 6th. Kyle Smith runs 5th. Big 3 wide right in front of them, and this cannot end good, and somehow they make it out of there. Wow. 3 wide at Darlington never works. You shouldn't do it. Just frowned upon it. And I don't know how they made it out of that, but they did. Ben Wart runs 3rd. Timmy Lewis 2nd. Hunter Lagoons runs in the lead right now. Again, Ben Wart needs a win to get in. Can he do it? It's your best lap today. Timmy Lewis has that locked up. Last lap times right there. Hunter Lagoons is flying out there right now. Ben Wart, a 30.255. He was faster than your race leader. Austin Palmer is dropping like a rock. Big mistake on the last segment where he could have pit. Chose to stay out. Wrong move by the 23. At least as of right now, it's been the wrong move. PJ Popham running in the 8th spot right now. Nick Galusha running 9th right now. Nick Galusha could still potentially get in on points here. Because with Kyle Wallman not coming here, we're thinking that he's going to miss the playoffs. We'll see. So Ben Wart able to take over 2nd from Timmy Lewis. We'll have to keep an eye on the time. Can Ben Wart knock off 1.7 seconds to catch Hunter Lagoons here? As there will not be any more green flag pit stops. This is it. This is the final go at it. Will Hunter Lagoons get his first win? And he was already going to lock himself up in points to make it. But with a win, it just gives him some extra bonus points for the playoffs. Or will Ben Wart get a win and get himself into the playoffs? Because that's what he needs. So pretty desperate by the 14 Napa truck here. Kyle Smith running 3rd. Here's your last laps that they pit. Of course, the top 6. They all pit on 113. Those that did not, Austin Palmer and PJ Popham, they're sitting back there struggling, which PJ Popham had to because he had to get his lap back. And so now he is hoping for another caution here to get some fresh tires. We're down to 1.2 second gap for Ben Wart. Right on board with Ben Wart here. He can see the race leader. He can see where he needs to get to. Now, can he get there? So he has knocked off 3/10 over 3 laps, so it's a 10th a lap right now. So looking at it, you should see him within the next 9 laps catch your race leader. 9 to 10 laps, so that'll be around lap 140 of 147. This is going to come down to, does Ben Wart be able to make it in, because he needs it, or is Hunter Lagoons, you see there, Ben Wart's pushing this truck. He is pushing it hard. He knows what he needs to do as he starts to close even more on Hunter Lagoons here. Exciting times here late in this race. We kind of hope to see this thing go green flag because it's going to be a good race here. Hunter Lagoons not gotten a win this season. He's came close. He's been very, very dominant inside the top 5. Just has not been able to get that win. Right now, he is in the playoffs based on points. But he would love to get a win tonight to seal up some bonus points going into the playoffs. But you got a guy right behind him, of Ben Wart, that has to have a win to get in. He has had the up and down season this year, and he is just so close right now. He could take his hand and reach that truck in front of him as he is pushing that truck to the limit now. You can see about half a second back from your race leader, Hunter Lagoons, and that has kind of stabilized the last lap. And now a big push, big surge forward, about 4/10, and then it grows back to 5/10 of a second. So this is the race right now. That is very important to keep an eye on, is Hunter Lagoons and Ben Wart. But you hear right back here, you got Patrick Day. He is 4 seconds off of the race lead right now. So he would have to knock off some crazy lap times to be able to catch your leaders. Grant Clark back here in the 5th. Kyle Smith running in the 4th position. PJ Popham's running in 8th right now. That's okay. That's where he needs to finish if he wants to make this playoffs. Nick Galusha does not want to see Ben Wart win this because that could push himself outside the playoffs here. Hunter Lagoons is starting to open up his lead by now 7/10 over Ben Wart. So Ben Wart may have just went just a little bit too soon here. Now 8/10 and climbing over Hunter Lagoons. Hunter Lagoons is opening up the gap now almost 1 second over Ben Wart. Grant Clark. Patrick Day now 2.5 seconds. As you've seen, Ben Wart really off the pace, is getting into the wall, just trying to push this truck really, really hard. And there is Grant Clark, or Patrick Day. We said that he was, 4 seconds off the lead, and he is locking down lap times the same as the race leader right now. So I just don't see Patrick Day being able to get to the race lead. He will get to Ben Wart here in the next couple laps, as Ben Wart was just knocking down the fenders on that thing. He was trying to get up there any way he possibly could. Byron Gay runs in the 11th spot. And we highlighted on Byron Gay in this and said that he had to finish 16th or better, and he's running in the 11th spot. He is looking to make himself into the playoffs here in the 11 machine. And it does look like it's just you got 9 laps here. Looks like the 14 is going to come up 1 spot short here in this one, and that's unfortunate. That 14 truck would have been fun to watch in the playoffs. And he needs a win to get in. He was within a half of a second of Hunter Lagoons, but he was using everything he had in that truck, and it showed. As Hunter Lagoons has not got the win yet on a season, but he's been a dominant truck and will be a huge threat in the playoffs. Multiple top 5 finishes. Just has not got the one win that he really needed, and he's looking to do that here. There's your gap back to the race leader. Patrick Day still 2 seconds. He's about a second away from Ben Wart here. But it does look like Hunter Lagoons is going to come away with this victory as if there's no caution flag in the next 7 laps here. It's a rough day for Paul Fly. He is saved by the win. If he wouldn't have had that win in his pocket, 23rd today would have knocked him out of the playoffs. That's crazy to say. But Paul Fly in the 23rd position with a win locks himself in. Derek Roffling will miss the playoffs this season. Trevor Catalana will miss the playoffs. The one it's a big question mark is Nick Galusha. Does he make the playoffs here? As you can see, Hunter Lagoons opened up a 3.7 second gap on Ben Wart. Ben Wart was within a half a second a few laps ago, but it's been all the 27. Hunter Lagoons going to get the race win, buying that there's no caution flags here in the closing laps of this one. Solid race by the 27. Ben Wart, his efforts is going to come up short tonight to make the playoffs. Good finish, though, for him in that second position. Patrick Day, good outing for him. Going to be another podium finish for him. His 2-time winner in the series. And looking to be a threat in the playoffs. Grant Clark going to come up just short for him as well, the 06. He will end up missing the playoffs as well, even finishing in that 4th spot. He's just going to come up a little bit short here. Timmy Lewis has clinched his spot. BJ Popham going to clinch as well. Austin Palmer there on the inside of him, going to take that position away. But back up front, The 27 of Hunter Lagoons. Down the backstretch. Coming into 3 and 4. Exiting 4 here. He's going to have the white flag wave for him. 1 lap to go. Presented by Game Day Rally Gear. For the 27 of Hunter Lagoons. Down the backstretch and 2 more turns here for Hunter Lagoons, and this one is going to be his in the bag. Exit of 4, Hunter Lagoons is going to be victorious tonight and picking up his first Tarmac Esports Truck Series win. And then a battle out of turn 4, Ben Wart and Patrick Day at the line, and Ben Wart will get that over Patrick Day. Grant Clark coming out of 4 here. He's going to come home in the 4th position. Timmy Lewis going to come out of 4 in the 5th. And 6th, PJ Popham will come home a top 10. Austin Palmer, a top 10 as well in the 7th. Kyle Smith will limp home in the 8th. 9th, Nick Galusha and Logan Coe will round out the top 10. We'll be right back after the quick commercial break.
My truck isn't something you want to see in your rearview mirror.
My truck is a 3,400-pound precision-guided sledgehammer.
I guess you could say my truck likes to take the path less traveled.
My truck never gets claustrophobic in tight spaces.
My truck doesn't haul tools, but hardware, that's a different story.
The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Tough trucks, tough racing.
All right, welcome back to Darlington, where we just concluded. And your race winner, Hunter Lagoons, holds off Ben Wart and Patrick Day to get his first Tarmac Esports Truck Series win of the season. We will have interviews with these guys here in just a few moments. Okay. Let's see. We're looking for Ben Wart and Patrick Day. Patrick Day and Ben Wart finish inside the top 3. All right, we will start with your 3rd place finisher tonight. The 3rd place finisher is going to be the 24 of Patrick Day. Get yourself another podium finish. A lot of momentum is on your side going into the playoffs. We got a nice little 3-week break here, and then we're going to be at it. Tonight wasn't as bad as what we really thought. It actually turned out to be a pretty decent race. What was it like for you out there?
Yeah, it was a decent race. Nice green flag runs there. Kind of got a green flag pit stop there, but then had a caution come out shortly after. But yeah, I mean, just racing the track, trying to save my tires there. I was better than Ben at the end, but I caught him so late that I couldn't work him, and I wasn't about to push it to the point of taking us both out of the race. I just needed a good, consistent win. I wasn't catching Hunter anyway, so. Good finish, good strong race. Congratulations, Hunter, for the win. Good finish for Ben Wart. Just came up a little bit short. It's unfortunate. Good racer. Hopefully he sticks with us through the playoffs because I think he can get a win under his belt in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Again, congratulations on the podium finish here at Darlington. You're definitely going to be a threat in the playoffs, and that'll be a fun one to watch when we come back in about 3 weeks. Congratulations again, and have yourself a Merry Christmas.
Thanks, you too, Ryan, and as always, thanks for the broadcast. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right, your second place finisher tonight is going to go to the 14. The Napa truck of Ben Wart comes up a little too short tonight. Man, you closed in on Hunter Lagoons. Looked like you may have used up a lot of your stuff to get to him. It was within a half a second there, and then the truck pretty much went away. Take us through those moments.
Yeah, I pushed it pretty much just about as hard as I could there on that final run to try and get to the lead as quickly as possible. I knew Hunter was pretty good in the long run, just like I was. So I wanted to try and get past him as early as possible. And yeah, it was closed on him. Looked like I was going to have the chance to do so. But yeah, the tires just went away once I got in his dirty air, and that was pretty much all she wrote.
Well, you got yourself a second place finish. Probably it's not going to be enough to put yourself into the playoffs. It's unfortunate. What's that feel like, knowing that you probably had some high hopes coming into this season that he was going to make this playoffs?
Yeah, it definitely sucks. I mean, obviously with the second place finish tonight, I mean, we got basically as close as we could get to making the playoffs without doing so. But it was still a all right season. I mean, yeah, just got caught up in a bunch of stuff in the early part of the season, but at least we closed out this regular season with two second place finishes in a row.
We talked to Patrick Day, and he's hoping that you continue to stick with us throughout the playoffs, as you're one that is probably going to see a win here sooner than later. Is there a track in the playoffs that you're looking at that you're maybe circling and saying, hey, I'm going to get that win for the Tarmac Esports Truck Series right here?
Honestly, if I had to pick one track, it would probably be the season finale at Phoenix. I know back when we raced the Xfinity cars before you started broadcasting on Tarmac Esports, I know I did really well on that race that we went there, so I would say that one's the one circled for me.
All right, well, it's been a great show tonight. You came up just short. We thought you was going to get there. It was going to be exciting. Just comes up short, one spot from making the playoffs. Hey, Ben, it's been good. We're going to have a 3-week break here. Hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, bud.
Thank you, man. You do the same.
All right, we're going to move on to your winner tonight. Hunter Lagoons finally checks it off the checkbox. He's got a win in the Tarmac Esports Truck Series. What's that feel like first and foremost?
Man, finally. You know what I mean? Goodness. I've been close quite a bit, but finally got it done. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. Honestly did not have high hopes, I'll be honest. I hit the wall both laps to qualify and started way in the back. And I don't know. I somehow made it up there. I don't know. I think I'm pretty sure I was good on points, but you know, win helps too.
Absolutely. The win is big. You was going to make it in on points no matter what, but with the win, you secure the number one spot in points coming out of the full 10 rounds of racing. You have that one win, so that'll bonus points a little added on. You got Patrick Day, a 2-time winner, and a Timmy Lewis that is a 2-time winner in the series. So you got yourself a win, and that's big. It's big for momentum coming out of this 10 rounds of racing into the playoffs, where now you have some kind of confidence saying, I can get that win and I can be a huge threat. We see you as a big threat. What do you feel like is a track coming up in the playoffs that you're circling and saying, that's my track?
I know it's a little bit later in the season, but I think when we hit up Iowa, I feel pretty confident there.
Iowa. I'm interested to see that. I really love Iowa too, and it's going to be a fun one to broadcast as well. So, Hunter, congratulations once again on the win. Hey, you're in the playoffs. It's going to be a fun one. We're excited to see you in the playoffs. We've got a little break here with the Christmas and everything, so have yourself a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you. You too.
All right, that is all we have for you here at the Tarmac Esports Studios. We want to thank you for tuning in. We'll see you here in roughly 3 weeks where we return for the playoffs. It's going to be fun. We got some big heavy hitters in this one. Hunter Lagoons, Patrick Day, Timmy Lewis, Johnny Evans, Byron Gay, PJ Popham, Kyle Wellman, Nick Lucia, Paul Fly, Brent Butler. You also are going to have Ryan Palmer, Sean Smith, those are going to be your drivers that made the playoffs. Right now, it does look like Austin Palmer is going to come up just short. We'll see as official standings will come out here in the next couple days. From all of us here at the Tarmac Esports Studios, have a good night, have a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2025.